really quick, while I have you. Philo, have you heard about it? Oh, it's the best. They're giving you 25% off 2 months of Hallmark, Lifetime, Up, GAC, the sorts. The movies we're talking about? Philo. 25% off. Philo.tv/DTH. Don't let this pass you by. Philo.tv/DTH. Here's the episode.
This is a Bramble Jam podcast. Hi, I'm Bran, and I love Hallmark Christmas movies.
Hey, I'm Panda, and I like Hallmark Christmas movies.
I'm Dan, and I despise Hallmark Christmas movies.
Oh, it's been a minute. I'm Justin, and I'm never going to get these lights up in time.
And this is the Deck the Hallmark podcast.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
You
Oh,
know
man.
it has been too long since we've had the man, the myth, the legend, Justin Kirkland.
Oh my gosh.
Joining us on the podcast when he forgets the intro, and you still stuck the landing somehow.
Oh, you
Oh,
crushed
you
you
were
were
late,
great.
and you still stuck it.
Thank you so much. I'm blessed and highly favored. That's how I describe myself.
Yeah, accurate.
Amen, amen. Justin, Merry Christmas to you, my friend. It's so good to see you.
It's so good to see you guys. We put our Christmas tree up today. We've had Hallmark on in the background, unless it's an important one, and then we're focused.
Of course,
Yeah,
yeah.
It's so good to see you guys.
How do you deem what an important one is, Justin?
Well, it's 3 words, Bethany Joy Lenz.
That's right. You get it. You understand. You understand
100%.
what that means. That's right.
You are sorry, you a fan?
Huge
Of
fan.
Bethany Joy Lenz?
I go back to her Guiding Light days. How the woman didn't win an Emmy for playing Michelle Santos, we'll never know. But that's not what we're here for today. So
No, we aren't.
No,
I'll
we
leave that
could-
person.
We could wax
I'll leave
poetic.
this-
on this
I
a
will.
little
I
bit.
will
We
say
could.
the Finding Guiding Light podcast maybe could be next
Ooh,
year. A new
yeah.
podcast from Justin Kirkland.
my
Going-
year with guiding light.
That's right.
There's so much to unpack. Do you guys know about Reba Shane Lewis Spalding Lewis Spalding?
You have lost all of us. Is that a real last
Because-
name?
What is that?
Yes. Well, as any woman who's gone through 8 different marriages has want to do, she decided not to get rid of any of her last names. This character was played by Kim Zimmer. She drove a car off of a pier. Guys, can we talk offline later so we're not boring people?
Yes.
But I'm thinking a Guiding Light podcast is very important for our
Ooh,
culture.
Man.
I love it.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah,
I love it.
You went so hard with the Dolly podcast in the year 2020.
Seems like forever ago.
yeah.
Yep.
And so we gave you the year off, but we are expecting something big in 2022. So get those wheels a churning.
A
This-
turning.
A churning.
Wheels don't churn.
They
They turn.
Imagine. Do you know how much quicker the butter process would be if you
had
put
wheels,
a wheel in there?
it would just grind. Never mind. I don't have time for this.
No, I'm
Justin,
with Bran on this one. This is brilliant.
Justin?
I'm totally here for it. And if you put me in charge of the butter making process, you'll get so much butter in 1 year and then no butter for an entire year.
Justin, I do have to ask you this really quickly. I know this is a Hallmark podcast today. Some days we do Lifetime. Did you watch Reba McEntire's Lifetime movie?
Yes.
Okay. I just need a quick. I'm not allowed to watch it because on our Lifetime show, we have Patrick Serrano from Lifetime Uncorked and Bran. They watch it, and then I tell you if I want to see it based upon their description. Can I just get like a quick 2-sentence review from you?
I think that let's see, a 2-sentence review. I think Reba McEntire shines in Christmas in Tune, and I think that Lifetime spent all their money on Reba McEntire.
Fair enough.
And
Fair enough.
we'll leave that there.
I love it.
I'm so excited to get out of bed tomorrow morning.
You got to watch it tomorrow morning.
And watch that
Oh,
movie.
boy.
It's gonna be so great. That's gonna be so fun. Well, episode comes out tomorrow here on Deck the Hallmark. Another twofer.
That's right.
Reba and then
Something.
Castle.
Cass. Ooh.
Big day.
Big day.
A Reba
yeah.
Lacey day
Reba
here on
Lacey.
Deck the Hallmark. Two more 2 for days
Yeah.
are ahead
This
of us.
week
What a
has
week
killed
we
all of
have.
us. That's
What a
right.
week we have.
10 episodes in a week we're doing this week, Justin. So yeah.
You guys are absolutely nuts. I don't know how you pull it off, but there's a brilliance to it.
If
No,
you had
thank
told me in 2018 that in season 4 we'd still be at it and this is how we'd be doing it, I'd be like, no.
You'd be
listen, a lot of tea, some coffee, and
That's
a
right.
good cocaine addiction will get you a long
Wait a
ways.
minute.
What?
What was that last one?
Coca-Cola.
There
Diet
it is.
Coke.
There it
Thank
is.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That
for
was on
clearing
me. That
right
was
up.
a
Yeah.
quick slip up.
Who among us hasn't dabbled in heroin? And by heroin, I mean heroines like Bethany Joy Lynn.
Am I right? Amen.
No, it comes full circle.
A guiding light. Hey, are you guys ready to talk about making spirits?
I've been
Brian?
ready for hours.
Yes.
Not a single spirits, ghosts,
There's no ghosts,
drinks,
or alcohol in this film. It's actually just a Christmas spirit is all we're talking about.
Maybe we'll get a spirit ad.
But my boy Carlo Marx is in it. Carlo, shout out.
Exactly right, buddy. Making Spirits Bright originally aired on. You know what's crazy is Lifetime this weekend, I believe, has a movie coming out called Baking Spirits Bright.
Now that sounds like a fun
So,
little title.
A lot of those type of movies going on. It originally aired on November 27th, 2021, and went a little something like this. Grace runs a home staging company, I believe. They make houses look good. Her and her friend, and it's really starting to take off. They might get a TV show, and Grace doesn't seem excited about that. She's starting to feel a little antsy around her business partner. What's going on there? Well, doesn't feel like she's being heard. Panda,
Yeah.
feel that way sometimes.
Some days.
Dan and I are just going back and forth.
Yeah.
and just
Like you're being hurt.
sometimes playing ping pong with your head.
Yep.
So she heads home for Christmas, and her dad does Christmas lights, I believe, for a living. I'm not entirely, but he's hard on the Christmas lights. He does it for the love of the game, though, and that's important to know. It's for the love of the game, for the love of Christmas. He does the lights. He used to have a business partner, but they broke up because that partner only cared about money.
Ugh.
And he was in it for the love of the game. In this town, there's a big Christmas tree lighting competition every year. And so that's a pretty big deal. Grace starts to reconnect with the son of the rival. His name is Tony. Tony, how you doing, Tone? But they don't really hate each other at all. In fact, I think they quite dig each other.
Wow.
Both families decide to enter the yearly Christmas light contest, and it turns out this year there's a cash prize of $50,000. But there's some stiff competition because of a dude named Wade. Wade's over there making lights blink to music like a monster. He's also very proud of his work. The competition begins, and both of the families quickly realize there's no competing with Wade. Wade is just too good.
It's just too good.
We
Can't
can't
beat
do
Wade.
this. So the kids come up with this crazy, wacky idea. What if we joined up to become a mega team? Bring back the duo that was good all those years ago. The duo's not having it, but finally they come to terms with it and say, hey, let's do this. We'll split the money 50-50 if we win. So they go and they put up the lights. They have 1 day left to make everything happen, and they make it to the finals against Wade. And immediately it goes back to money. And the one guy's like, well, this is going to be so great when we win the money. And the other guy's like, there you go again. Talking about money. It's all about the money for you. So they're mad at each other again. So Grace decides to go caroling with Tony's family for reasons I don't really know. And they're, switching languages and stuff. It's a real, just a lesson in language and how to not do it. And they get to Grace's house, and the dads bury the hatchet again. They are ready to take Wade down by whatever means necessary. They decide to really step it up in the finals with some sort of Yule log tree thing. But they're going to make the lights flash as well. So that's good. Grace makes up with her business partner that they got in a big old fight earlier in the movie. when she said that she doesn't feel like she's heard, and the girl proves her points pretty quickly. So it's the night of the big finals. And Wade does his thing, and it's blue and fine. And then they do their thing, and it's blue and fine. And so the big question was, who's going to win this one? Well, the ones that you think
the blue and fine ones.
The blue and fine ones that were finer with the Yule log. The good guys win. They get the money.
Wade?
Yeah, no, not Wade. And Grace and Tony celebrate with a kiss. And they kiss pretty good, decent ones.
All right.
And that, my friends, was Making Spirits Bright.
Wow.
We did it.
Man,
did do
that
it,
was
everybody.
great.
Man. Boy, oh boy.
I'm so excited to break this movie down. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I do think we should take a quick break, collect ourselves, hear from some sponsors.
Right. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Pay the power bill. We got a lot of Christmas lights here in the office.
Of course. And that mailbox is already popping out.
It's already popping out.
We got something we got to read.
So let's go see what we can do here on Deck the Hallmark. Oh, I'm so excited about this one. Skylight Frame.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Game changer.
The holidays are here. You're doing your Christmas shopping this week, and you're trying to figure out what do I get for somebody like my mom or my grandma or someone like that I just at this point I don't even know anymore. What do I do? Skylight Frame is the perfect solution for anybody who, I don't know, doesn't hate family, because what Skylight Frame allows you to do is load pictures onto this frame and they'll scroll through. So we could send, this is what we're doing, sending mom a Skylight Frame, then giving the address to send pictures to all of my brothers and the family to send pictures.
She gets
to
pictures
mom.
of all of her grandkids.
That's exactly
in
right.
One place,
and they wrote
all day long.
it's amazing. We have a Skylight Frame in our house that we use on a regular
It's
basis.
unbelievable. I got
we
one
love
too.
it.
Yep. Same.
Because the pictures are always staying up to date. There's no more pictures. You get this whole wall of pictures from like 10 years ago, and you're like, I guess I'll update those one day. No more of that. Skylight Frame makes it super easy. I'm a big Skylight Frame fan, and here's the good news, everybody. A special offer. You can get $10 off your purchase of a Skylight Frame when you go to skylightframe.com and enter the code DECK. That's right. Get $10 off your purchase of Skylight Frame. Just go to skylightframe.com and enter the code DECK. That is SKYLIGHTFRAME.com. Promo code DECK for $10 off. And don't forget, the entire holiday season of Deck the Hallmark Season 4 is brought to you by our good friends at Philo, where you can watch all of these movies with the unlimited DVR that's going to last you not 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, not 9 months, but an entire year of
Holiday
unlimited
movie
DVR.
hub.
That's
Come on.
exactly right. Hallmark, Lifetime, GAC, whatever you want, they got. All you got to do is go to philo.tv/DTH. That's philo.tv/DTH. Yes, everybody, we're
Yes,
back. We are
sir.
talking Making Spirits Bright. Justin, what did you do over your break?
Wait, over which
Just
break?
now, this break?
Thanksgiving.
No, just the advertising break.
Oh,
Well, I was going to say nothing, but that's a lie. I was pre-ordering Wingstop.
let me tell you
Wanna be
something about Wingstop. The cheese sauce with those French fries.
It's so good.
So good.
I'm just telling you, Justin Kirkland needs to come to Greenville so he and I can just eat our way through Greenville.
Yep.
Oh my
because
gosh.
That would be great.
The cheese
Dude, that would be the
sauce
best. That'd be the best.
with
Wingstop.
those French fries. Let's go.
I do want to say we've talked about food with Justin a good bit about that Greenville and how good it is from a fast food. There's also a lot of like other great food
That's
here in
right.
Greenville. Greenville's
Yes.
a great foodie town, but the cheese sauce.
The cheese sauce. With
I
those
love
fries.
that you live in.
And they have a good blue cheese too with the wings.
Yeah. You live in New York
Yeah.
City.
What are you doing ordering Wingstop?
And you could get wings from anywhere. But you know, it's good to know that even people who have the world at their fingertips sometimes has to go to Old Faithful and get the cheese sauce.
I'm going to tell you the quickest story. I'm so sorry. I was
No,
in
no.
an Uber.
Yeah.
I was in an Uber. I love to talk to my Uber driver. I'm like the 1 in 100 person that like loves to do that. There can be 99 people in a car, and you're like, why are there 99 people in a car? Anyways, talking to this Uber driver. He has immigrated to the U.S. from the Middle East, and he went to grad school in Alabama, so I needed to know how that went for him. And we're having a conversation, and he said, my favorite restaurant is Olive Garden. And I said, why Olive Garden? And he said, because I don't have a home in the U.S. and I can't get back and see my family as often as I'd like to. So I know if I go to an Olive Garden, no matter where it's at in the U.S., it's going to be the same, and that feels like home. And I thought that was the most beautiful thing I've ever heard.
I mean, it's something, and it is why chain restaurants exist, and it is why people watch Hallmark movies. Like, you've encompassed all of that in one story with you and your Uber driver, which is very impressive.
It's something beautiful.
That's right.
This is all I'll say. When you are here,
your family. That's true.
I dare you to find a better breadstick.
I dare you. I dare you.
Dude, the salad and breadsticks, great. I just don't eat anything after
the
that.
zuppa Toscana? No,
the zuppa Toscana.
The actual like noodles are trash.
Okay, yeah, no, the Italian food.
But the zuppa,
the zuppa.
Don't
oh
try.
my God,
Don't come in here with the zuppa Toscana.
No, take the breadstick. Take the breadstick. Dip it in the zuppa. Dude,
it's
a game changer. It's a no-brainer.
What are you doing?
Those croutes.
Boys, get up.
Those croutes.
Oh my gosh, the croutes. And then they go and they shuffled a little bit of cheese.
You know who had the best croutons? Oh, what was the place what name of that place by Cherrydale? But it just closed down. That big chain.
Flat Rock.
Nope, the chain.
Ruby Tuesday?
I was on the corner. No, Ruby Tuesday. Yeah, Ruby Tuesday. Because the croutons.
Because the black croutons.
All right.
Yeah. The croutons were good.
Everything else in that restaurant was terrible.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no. Last time we went, it was not a great experience.
That was terrible.
It was one of the worst meals I've
Wendy's
ever had.
parking lot, and it's connected with a Ruby Tuesdays. And on the way into Wendy's, we go, why don't we go to Ruby Tuesdays instead?
And that was our that was a mistake.
That was our undoing right there.
Ruby
Tuesdays, not good.
Man, I hate that that's closed down.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, here we are. Let's talk about this movie, Making Spirits Bright. We have 4 segments to do that. We're going to start with a hot take. We're going to share exactly how we felt about this movie. No holding back, everybody. Like, let's be honest here. Panda, you've been voted by Mrs. Sampson's 3rd grade class.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
As one of the top 20 most honest people they know.
That's great. That's great.
So
Big time.
don't make fools.
Wow.
Of Mrs. Sampson's 3rd grade class.
I would not.
Don't do it.
Those are little scholars there, and I just want to. You guys are the future of America. Just wanted to let you guys know that. Here's what I'll tell you.
They said you were the most honest. Now I want to be clear.
You haven't met them. They're great.
You're not honest.
Who are you?
I'm Derek.
Okay, Derek's not great. I gotta be honest with you. I've met you, Derek.
Yeah, you know what you can go do?
Go ahead. Tell me.
Kick rocks.
Hey, Panda.
Who's that?
I'm Jenny.
Hey, Jenny.
I just want to let you know that I also do not think you're very honest at all.
Yeah, you're the worst.
I think you can shove right off.
How did you guys call
Mrs. Sampson would not allow me to vote because I said I hate Panda before she handed out the ballot.
And she said that we might.
She said
we
that
might have bias.
would have some bias. And I said, you want bias? You go watch the news.
That's exactly right. The mainstream media.
The mainstream
NSM.
media.
Okay, I said they're the future of America, and they very well might be, and it's not bright.
You're not the future. You're the past. What are you, like 80?
Hey, Panda, I forgot one more thing.
Yes,
the pants. Derek out.
What happened just now?
Why did you let them call
3rd graders?
Why did I let him call in the future scholars? You said I wasn't going to. You bragged about
Good
it.
Lord. Just give your hot take, Panda.
Guys, I feel a little downtrodden after that. That hurt my feelings.
Just go. I don't know why. Why are you dragging this out?
I'm sorry. So here's the deal. This movie is hot trash.
Yeah.
This movie's awful, but in the best way. This movie is bottom of the barrel. Is top 5 worst movies, and is hilarious. I legitimately laughed multiple times. It has so many what's in it. It is ridiculous. It is just. What's a shame about it is actually interesting, and it's interesting because the plot idea or the motif here is not a bad idea.
The motif,
whatever you want to call it, the theme. I don't know what you want to call it.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's the nonsense. This is the thing. Get out of here with your words.
Thank you, Derek.
Fran Drescher.
What?
The nanny. Yeah, don't worry about it. Shove off.
Thanks. I appreciate that. Guys, anyway, so yeah, this movie's a riot. This movie is an absolute joy to watch in the worst way. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
Justin, what are you thinking about this movie, buddy?
Well, it certainly happened, didn't it?
Yes,
Sure
it
did,
did.
pal.
Yes, it
So-
did.
Again, a brief story. My high school once did an all-white version of West Side Story.
Oh no.
And that's kind of what I felt about this. It was kind of like if Romeo and Juliet happened, but they were like, we're gonna skip all the necessary parts. And we're just gonna go for it. I kept getting distracted because I thought that Wade looked like the love child of Ellen DeGeneres and SNL's Kyle Mooney.
Yes.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Gosh, I love Kyle Mooney.
100%. So that, I mean, every time he was on the screen, I was like, I don't know how that happened, but it did. and then I kept getting distracted by the two kids, the two nephews, because I just like, I don't know. I feel like they have such a bright future, but like this film kind of dimmed it a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
I was rooting for it, but it was rough. It was rough.
I mean, I want to go back to the all-white version of West Side
We have
Story,
to.
but we don't.
Were they
have
like
time.
the khakis and the cotton balls? Or what were they? Like, what were the two sides there?
I
Still
mean,
Jets
it
and
was,
Sharks?
Imagine like my high school girlfriend. Well, we should just end it there. But her just kind of like flailing around with a dress, screaming about America, and she's still doing it.
Man.
I bet.
If anybody has any grasp on two sets of immigrants fighting in the streets, it's the great folks of East Tennessee.
They just want
They
to live
get
in
it.
America.
They get it.
They get it.
They understand.
They get
understand.
it.
They understand for sure. I'm sorry. That is I would watch that movie. Whatever that movie is, I would watch
Yep.
it. Oh my goodness.
It's the crowd piling in with their moonshine, ready to cheer on their kiddos.
When you're a Jet, you're a Jet.
You're a jet all the way. I love this movie. Goodness gracious. It is a very, very bad movie, but like a real fun one. And so at the end of the day, don't care that it's bad because I had a blast. I also like the motif.
Yeah, motif.
You got it.
So big fan of that, and just had an all-around dandy time. And so good on that. Good on this movie. It's going to be higher than it should be on my list because I'm a sucker. So yay, more of that, please, Dan.
I can't believe this movie got made. I feel like throughout the duration of them making this movie, at every turn they were like, is this going to make a full motion picture, you think? And they're like, yeah, let's just keep going. And then they finished it and they just put it out. They just said, we're here, we're pot committed. We got to make 40 of these. Let's put it out. This works better as like art cinema. It's like vignettes of a movie that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
There is a scene in this movie, which is the granddaddy of all wait whats, where a man stares at an ornament for over 30 seconds. That happens in this movie. Now, you may have missed it if you were just going to watch the screen when dialogue happened, but a man stares at an ornament for 30 seconds for no apparent reason in this movie.
Yep.
We rewound it. It is patently absurd. It's a laugh a minute. It belongs in a place where it can never be found to be seen again. It is 100% terrible, rotten to the core, really bad. I laughed a lot, but I hated myself for laughing. It was bad. Absolutely not. Hard dumpster fire for Dan.
But
It's a bottom 5 movie for me.
no.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's awful.
Get out of here.
Of the season, Justin. I watch 1,000 of these.
No, no. I'm going to push back on that because it was
Okay.
garbage. But if you drop a center block hard enough on the ground, it bounces up a little bit. And I think that's what we have
So
in this situation.
they really spiked this mother, huh? They really went full.
And that dad,
That's
that
right.
that dad bounced off the cement. So,
Oh yeah, he did.
yeah, he did.
He sure did.
So that's good.
With some sort of weird injury.
Let's get to all the feels. Part of the show we talk about one of this movie gave us feels. Panda?
Listen, I had anticipatory feels. They ended up going nowhere, but at the final showdown of lights, and that's why I'm going to call it the showdown
of
the
lights.
Where first of all you have what's the bad guy's name in this? Wade. You have Wade doing his thing over there, and then once the smoke clears from what Wade's done, the lights flash on. And it is, you're just really ready for them to bring it all to a crescendo. Then you realize they're not going to.
No.
And so somehow I was disappointed, but at the same time, I was relieved because if it had really given me a grand finale, I don't think I would have known how to rank this movie. But it disappointed me there. And so I was like,
it's bad.
I know it's bad. And it reminded me it was. And
It had all the makings of there is going to be a grand finale.
Like where all the lights build up to the house and the house explodes in lights.
And there is even a guy in the crowd that I think says, "Here it comes."
Here it comes.
And it does not.
If you don't have a finale, why did you let Wade just go ham over there on those lights? Like Wade goes just ballistic, and theirs is like, what about Wade's just a softer blue?
Yeah.
that's all they do. And you just are waiting for the big,
and it's more like swelly, like it just kind of move. Like Wade's like all flashy. Theirs is just kind of like, we're gonna move over here now. Don't tell anyone, but we'll go over there. Yeah.
And no one was allowed to use green. Clearly, it was just blue. It was as disappointing a moment in one of these movies that I've seen in a long time.
Here it comes.
Here it comes.
The end.
The end. Hey, nothing.
Justin.
So the way that I do my notes when I get the opportunity to join you boys is to list each section, and I did get to the end and had nothing under all the feels.
Of course.
And just kind of stared at it for a while. But I would like for us to look at feels as something beyond a warm, fuzzy feeling, because I do have other feels.
Yes.
So the first one is, I believe her name was Maria, who runs the contest.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I understand what it is to be on the verge of a nervous breakdown and the only thing holding you together is your work. But I'm worried about her. And those are my feels, because she was like, please, everyone, please. It's a family contest, please. And it's like, no one has a gun here, Maria. Like, no one's trying to, but like, you know that like this matters to her more than anything. The other thing that really brought me a lot of anxiety was the moment that one of the children does a magic trick, and Taylor Cole says, "Oh, you're into magic. That's cool, buddy. You've got a long road ahead of you if this is the vocation that you pursue."
Oh no.
And I just had this feeling of like, I wanted to reach through the screen and be like, my son, let me get you into tech. Let me get you into STEM. Something helpful. But those were my only two. I felt no joy.
So I was so envious of this contest. I want to set this up for the people at home that didn't see this movie. What they did was got a cul-de-sac of people's houses, and the people that joined this contest were assigned a house to decorate over the course of like 3 days, I think. And then everyone can show up and they can see the houses, and then they can do the thing and the vote. That's a great idea. It's a great idea for a competition. It's a great idea for a contest. And I want to do that here in that Greenville. I don't know how it'll work out, but boy, it was pretty darn fun.
You'd have to have competing Christmas decoration companies.
I don't think so. I think you get people that already do it to their house. They submit their pictures from last year and say, hey, I want to compete. And then you pick the best ones of those, the ones that are serious about Christmas. And then you say, hey, here you go hog wild.
There you have it.
I think it's a great idea.
It is a good idea. Yeah. I love the idea. I love that the finalists decorated a different house.
They had to do it all over again,
which is just crazy. Like there's two houses, like the two houses that get to be in the finals.
I think they had to do it all over again. I'm not entirely sure.
The rules are a little murky, but I'm pretty sure they had to do two different houses for the finals.
Yeah.
Maria made the rules very clear.
Yes.
Korea.
Yeah. She has a lot on her plate, Justin. If you could back off.
Oh, Dan.
Search my heart, found nothing.
Oh.
Absolutely not. No feels to be had here aside from laughter instead of crying. Those are the feels. And you know what? The only way to make this movie better, and I gotta be honest, is watch it in the middle of a 6-movie marathon. That really hammers it home, is what that does. So yeah, no, absolutely not. It's a hard no from Dan.
Let's take one more quick break.
Let's do it.
And we'll come back and we will get to Wait What's and What the Hallmarks. Here at Hallmark. Oh, it wouldn't be a movie about spirits without some Christmas spirit in the form of a spirit called Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey, y'all.
I'm just telling you right now, you kept talking about it and talking about it and talking about it. It's the real deal.
It's the real deal, and it makes making a really fun Christmas bevy super simple. It adds a little extra flair, a little, what's going on here? Some Christmas cheer. That's exactly what they do. I've been obsessed with Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey for a while now. We're so happy to have them as a sponsor. And we think you should go anywhere that you can buy some drinks and get some peanut butter Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey.
You got it.
And kick up your holiday season from a probably a measly 7 to all the way to the North Pole.
Yeah.
North Pole.
So a 7's measly.
A 7 is fine.
Okay, but 10's all the way up to the roof.
It's not even a 10. It's
North
Pole. 7 to a North Pole.
A 7 to a North Pole. It's a complicated rating system, but you would get it if you got it. So go pick up some peanut butter whiskey today. And remember, always drink responsibly. We're back, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
We are talking making spirits bright.
Yes, sir.
Justin Kirkland is here. Writer extraordinaire from Esquire and the like, host of the beloved
My Year with
podcast,
Dolly.
My Year with Dolly, and future Guiding Light pod. And we are at the Wait What part of the show. We talk about what in this movie made us go, wait, what? We will see if there's enough to go around. And I'll start with my good friend Panda. Panda?
I'll start with just one that started off the very first scene where they're establishing just the city. They took out a street name and they didn't add it back in post-production. They just erased it. And so it's just a plain street sign, which I think is indicative of what is to come, which is why I mention it. At one point, very early in the movie, the dad is setting up Christmas lights on this house. It's not even his house, I do not believe, but it's a house. And a random family comes along during the middle of the day and they start applauding him.
Yes.
I don't understand why. I don't understand it.
Lights aren't up yet.
Lights aren't up. He's not done decorating, and they're all applauding him. And I'm confused. Later, when they drive up to Wade's first house, they pull in front of everybody. There's a group of people standing and watching Wade's show, and he just pulls in front of everybody and blocks it. And they have a full conversation in their big old truck, blocking the view of Wade's show. I just don't find that very appropriate and polite. And then finally, I just want to point out that as he is working in a bar, he says that his friend throws him shifts every now and then when the bar gets really busy. And I want to point out that the bar that night is, in fact, not busy. I do not understand why he is there. In fact, it makes no sense at all. That bar is empty.
Empty. Justin, what you got, buddy?
I have 2.25 Wait What's.
Love
Okay,
it.
2.25. Okay.
The first one that kind of like bleeds over into the second one is, why would you work with someone like Sarah? And also, why would you go to a business meeting and a party in a full-sleeved, like to the ground dress? Like, I'm not saying you shouldn't own one. I own one, but it's my funeral blacks, you know? But like she showed up in like an emerald green dress that goes to the floor, completely covers her entire arms, and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, this is my party dress." My party dress? And then in the middle of this meeting, they land the show at the end. Spoiler alert if you guys haven't seen it. But like they land the show in the end, but in the first meeting, she just gets up in the middle of it and she's like, "I'm out. Like, peace. I'll see you later." Like, I know so many people that are dabbling poorly on Instagram trying to get an HGTV show. and they would kill for that meeting. So you can't just get up and walk out in the middle of a meeting. So I want to know how she landed that show. And then the important question that I wrote in all caps on my notes is, I wonder if you guys have ever put business before friendship. And if so, how did that go for you? Because that's what Sarah and Taylor Cole. I'm just going to go Taylor Cole instead of her character name. But they were talking about it, and they were like, "We can never put business before friendship again." And I'm like, I'm not particularly sure that that's the best means of doing business.
No, I think it's probably hurt us to when we've pretty much always just put friendship before business. And I think that's probably bit us a few times, if I'm being honest. We probably left a lot of money on the table, but I guess it's worked out. I don't know. Bran?
Oh no, it's the worst decision. I always pick business over friends.
I mean, for sure. I mean, what are we even doing here?
Because friends
we got Screwball Whiskey on board.
Yeah.
Sarah's not. I mean, I don't want a friend like that. If my friend isn't going to let me talk about tables when and where I want, then like, what kind of friend is that?
That's true.
Exactly right.
If you came here, we would let you talk about tables anytime you wanted.
Come on, Justin.
Guys, I know so much about tables.
What's your favorite type of table?
We don't have time. Going on.
You want to know what type of table that I've really spent more time than I should, like looking up pictures of, is oh gosh, they like put some sort of liquid in it, and then they put the table together, and it gives like this. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm know exactly what I'm talking about. Isn't that a cool table?
I get lost on the epoxy tables.
Epoxy tables. That's exactly right.
Those are crazy.
I was just telling my wife last night that when I retire, I want to get into wood making and like make things, because I don't have time to do that now, and it's expensive, and I put friends before business to buy all the equipment necessary to build things. But boy, I'd love it. I love seeing things put together, and like, I think it'd be fun, right?
If you press a nice lilac and then put it on that table and pour epoxy over it, you have captured a moment in time. How beautiful is that?
Man,
amazing.
But no, Sarah, I started talking about that, and Sarah's like, we should move on. And I'm like, you know what, Sarah? With friends like you, who needs business?
That's exactly right.
That's right.
With friends like you, we have no tables because we don't have time to talk about them. Imagine that. If everybody had a friend like Sarah, there'd be no tables.
No tables. It's unbelievable.
We wouldn't have this right.
I don't want to live in that world.
That's right.
Although this table, I mean, we could do without it.
No, it's great for my feet.
I know, but bad for art. I have a few things. Also, so you have your funeral garb. We can't see that until the funeral.
What?
No, I'll bring. Well, it's not my funeral garb. It's called my funeral blacks, and and I'll bring them to Greenville when I come to visit.
Great.
I'll wear them to Zaxby's.
I love it.
There you go.
I love it.
That's exactly right, because mine as well die. You've seen everything. You've done it all. I have a few. So they go, the thing you mentioned, they go and they see Wade's stuff. And the dad is like, anybody can set up lights and connect it with computer code. It's lifeless. And there's just a lot that I have thoughts on here. One is, it is harder than you're making it sound, but also just because everyone can do it does not mean that it's not impressive.
That's right.
When you see it done well. Like when we see really good Christmas light displays, just because a computer is doing it does not make it not impressive.
We still ooh and ah.
We still go, this is pretty cool, right? This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And what do you mean it's lifeless? What does that mean? Like someone still spent the time to set up the lights the same as you do. I don't understand what you're getting at, buddy. Like I can appreciate. I will say this. It is harder to impress with Christmas lights with a static display. So when you see a really amazing static Christmas light display, it kind of captures the imagination, I think, a little bit more than the flashy ones. So I understand to a point what he's saying, but
that doesn't make it
doesn't mean
impressive.
It doesn't mean that it's not impressive.
Yeah.
Just because everyone can do it.
Yeah.
And also, no, they can't. My mom would be very lost.
Yeah.
She doesn't even know how to work her phone. I love you, Mom. Speaking of that guy, he is sitting there jotting down ideas for the Christmas light display, and Tony comes up, and Tony's like, Dad, I got some really great ideas that I want to run by you. I got things I'm really excited about. And that guy is just not looking up. He is locked in on the process. Then Tony says, can I get you a hot chocolate? And he's like, yes.
Cannot listen to you.
I don't have time for your dumb ideas, but I do have time for hot chocolate.
Mhm.
And I think we can all appreciate that guy. I was very bummed out that we did not get to see the houses, all 4 houses that were in the competition.
Mhm.
They go straight to announcing the winner. And I know why they did, because they didn't have time to put together a lot of different Christmas light displays. But I was bummed we didn't get to see that. And I just, $50,000 is a lot of money for a local
Christmas
light
Right.
contest.
Yes.
Yes.
The final 2 would be so much bigger
And
than
better.
that
Yes.
for a $50,000 prize.
Yes.
Have you ever seen Great American Light Fight?
Yeah.
Like, those guys are doing it for the love of the game. If there was $50,000, I went and saw the guy in Greenville when he was on the Great American Light Fight a few years ago.
Greenville Griswold.
And he brought in fireworks. And he didn't win. He brought in fireworks and he didn't win. For $50,000, you better believe they're doing more than whatever the heck they did with the Yule log thing, whatever that was. Dan?
I'm pretty sure the bar has 12 taps of what appears to be the same beer, which is quite a bar to go to.
Yep.
It's one of those bars where you just order a beer.
Could be why it was empty as well.
It could be. And to be fair, the guy that owns the place spills half your beer before he delivers it. So he literally just sloshes it around like, who ordered a beer? Did anybody order this beer? At one point, the news anchor woman is interviewing Wade, and she's talking about his cool light display that matches to the music. And she says that this aims to do for holiday decorating scapes what streaming did for video. And
I tried dissecting that line.
I
tried to break it down.
What? This technology that has been around for decades is going to do for decorating scapes what streaming did for video.
And that's good.
No, that's not even.
Wait,
she says for video store.
Did she say for the video
For
store?
the video store.
What are you talking about?
Put a lot of good people out of business.
And here's the best part. Yeah, it's gonna crush a lot of dreams. Here's the best part. That's not the weirdest line of this movie. Because at one point, the dad of Tony says, and I read this while you were talking, and it makes less sense now than it did then. I can't make heads or tails of what I want to do or what I'm trying to do. I can't make heads or tails of what I want to do or what I'm trying to do.
Same.
Yes. Engage. I do want to be clear that why not just say I don't know what I'm doing? Isn't that what he's trying to say?
I think what he's trying. Yeah, I think what he's trying to say is he is torn between like the big ideas that he has and what's actually possible. I think.
Well,
but I can't make heads or tails.
The same.
I can't make heads or tails of what is what I want to do.
To be fair,
or what I'm trying to do.
This is the same nutbag that stares at a bird ornament for 30 seconds. He literally looks at the thing like there's like trigonometric functions in his brain. I don't know what's happening.
He does a full head tilt at one point.
Staring at this ornament for 30 straight seconds with no one else in the scene, and they kept it in the movie.
If you look at that character through kind of like a beautiful mind lens, then it ends up being much better.
Yeah,
it really does.
Like, all the other voices are telling him what to say. And
don't
he's like,
rush me. Don't rush me.
I can't make heads or tails of what I want to do or what I'm trying to do. Okay. The other dad, from what we understand, is in fairly deep financial water. He expanded his business. He added a location. It didn't go well. He was not making budget. He's underwater financially, And if he doesn't win the competition, he's going to have to close his doors. That's according to his wife. Now, that means that his business is small enough to where $50,000 is going to save it, which is awesome. That means he's not in too big a hole. But then he decides to split that money with this other guy, meaning he's only going to make $25,000. Is he even in any financial trouble at all? Or is this just like
Are we sure he was splitting the money? Because that other guy was broke Eugene Levy. He was just there for the art.
So you're saying he didn't even want the money?
Well, but they do shake. They shake on the half
and half.
They shake on half and half.
What brand they shook on a lot in the past too, didn't they?
That's right.
That's exactly. Yeah. You know what? That's you're
true.
right.
I have two more really quickly. Number one,
I don't know if they did.
Somebody,
no idea.
Who knows if they do? We know if they shook on things in the past.
Justin has a
confidence.
full cinematic backstory.
That's right.
Full of handshake deals.
Cut. It's 3 hours long. Someone at Hallmark, or at least on this movie, was like, guys, the secret to our movie standing out, hear me out, yellow lights. Not white lights, not clear bulb lights, actual yellow, like the sun is yellow lights.
I have to think it was a color correction issue with trying to make things look.
I've never seen it.
Night.
One house in this competition is covered in just yellow lights.
And kind of like Halloween. They're not even Halloween orange lights.
Not this yellow.
No, that's a warm white.
No, that's a warm white. It is this yellow. This is the yellow we're talking about.
I have to think it was color correction.
That's what I was going to say. It had to have been color.
Well, then that's terrible too. That's real bad. Yeah. They're running against the clock to finish in the finals. And they're like, let's try it to see if it works. And it doesn't work. And they're like, oh no, it doesn't work. And he goes and he keeps testing the wire. And then he finds out, he looks, it's just not plugged in. Like they keep pressing the button. He's like, boop, and it's plugged in. And then they don't get to try it. They're like, we're not sure if it works. Bro, it wasn't plugged in. Like all you had to do is plug it in and we're good to go, right? Like that's all we need to do. That's all I got.
It's time for What the Hallmark Star Show. We wonder what could have been, happened, maybe questions. The things that we want to know is what really I'm getting at. Panda, what are you still wondering about, pal?
Yeah, the dad's injury.
Me too. Same one.
Is he okay? Is it a heart attack? Was it a heart attack?
Was he ever not okay?
I think I like to think I have a theory here that it was all just for the big line delivery, making spirits bright as he walks through the crowd with a crutch. Like, I think it was all part of the show.
Like, because if it was a heart attack, which that's what it appears it
looked like, he was grabbing his chest. Yeah,
he wouldn't be back that quickly to the event that gave him the heart attack. But he also fell. It's a mystery. It's a mystery.
Making spirits bright.
Oh my goodness.
I said to myself and anyone who would listen, that would be a good name. Justin?
So the final show that Sarah and Grace got to star in was called, I believe, Upstaged, which is all fine and good. But I want to know in the future when they have kids, and they will have kids, or at least Grace will have kids. Sarah is caught up in the table stuff. I feel like there's an opportunity for a rebrand. Would they go for the name Stage Moms?
Ooh, okay.
See? Wouldn't that be good?
I see what you did there.
And then I'm go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I was just going to say the show airs on a channel called HBTV. I don't know if you saw that.
HGTV?
It was HBTV. So I want to know what you think the channel stands for. It's not Home and Garden Television. What do you think the B is?
Home Butt Television.
What is that channel's purpose?
I didn't get to be a third grader earlier, and I just heard the B and was like, "Butt."
It's a butt.
It's a butt.
It's butt.
Somebody watching one of the double deckers watching live said that he broke his clavicle.
It's clavicle.
That's what he did, and they said it in the movie.
Oh wow,
I don't remember that at all. Did you hear that?
That's a painful break too, and it takes a long time to heal.
I gotta get back. I gotta say the line of the movie.
What does it say about the four of us that
all of us missed it?
We all missed clavicle.
Man,
I was so tired. The other What the Hallmark that I had is I'm always worried about things getting digitized, and I grew up in the era of everything kind of like turning to that, so I don't know why I fear it, but like the first thing I thought when it was all computerized, I was like, so I could hack it. Like, can I hack into this light system and like switch out the song for like Easy on Me by Adele or like Body Language by Queen or like anything from the Megan Thee Stallion catalog? Like, because I could ruin Christmas right quick for somebody if I could. So all I can think is like, it really, everything goes back to that Jurassic Park line, which is like, I'm paraphrasing, but like we spent enough time asking, can we change
We never
the
bothered
way
to
we
stop.
computerize Christmas lights? We never asked ourselves, should we change the way that we can computerize Christmas lights?
That's true.
That's it's
true.
like the message version of the Jurassic Park.
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah, that
You
was
were there
great.
somewhere.
Yeah.
That was some
Beautiful.
version of it.
That was
for sure.
beautiful.
100%.
That was beautiful. I mean, obviously, I want to know. I just still have so many unnecessary questions about the contest, like why sometimes they're allowed to work until the evening and sometimes they have to stop at noon and they're not allowed to come back. The rules are just so foggy for me that I just don't fully. I think they got something here, but I care too much about the details.
That was my other one, was the contest rules.
Yep.
Like it seemed very foggy on what was happening and very specific, but we didn't know the specifics.
Yeah.
So it made it difficult.
Yeah, and I want to know where Wade goes from here. I think this was pretty clearly
Wade's great.
a quite the tough break for him. This is
Yeah.
this
Supposed to be his big splash.
It was going to be his big splash, and I mean, it was a toss up. I don't think it was as clear cut of a winner.
I think Wade's were better. I want to say his display was
tough.
better.
It's tough. I think they were.
Just pick one. You got to pick one. You're a judge. You got to pick one. Because we got four of us.
Okay,
You gotta pick
this
one.
is what I'll say.
Pick one.
Can I just say this?
Oh my God.
If I understood what the point of the Yule log knocking thing was at the beginning, I felt like maybe that would have added to it. But because I don't understand what that
You gotta
was
go
and the
Wade.
point of it, I got to go Wade.
Wade.
I think you gotta go Wade.
So would you go Wade? Is it a clean sweep for Wade?
I'm going Wade.
Yeah, clean sweep for Wade.
Yeah.
Wow.
Kyle Mooney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope we get what's the name of this movie again?
Making
Making
Spirits
Spirits Bright 2, Wade's Revenge.
I
Revenge.
said this
Ooh.
during the movie. Wade is my favorite character in the history of Hallmark.
That is so bold. It's ridiculous.
Wade crushed it every time he was on screen.
If you say so.
Just me?
Just you. Yes.
Mhm.
And Wade was fun, but best character in the history of Hallmark? Get out of here. Yeah, Justin's
And
trying.
I just want to say to people on there that were giving me a hard time in the chat, BrambleGenPlus.com, that Brand was giving people a hard time for the projector lights. That's because projector lights
Oh boy. Do we have
are
time for this?
straight from Satan himself to ruin Christmas for anybody who loves it.
Fair enough.
That's completely different than a well-thought. It's actually the complete opposite of a well-thought-out computerized display. It takes time to set that display to do the things you want to do to the songs you want to do it to. It takes 1 second to turn that little sucker on to throw some snowflakes that go in a circle on
I
your
hear
house.
it's going to do for decorating scapes what streaming video.
And I don't know if that's good or not.
Me either. No idea.
Can
Go
I
ahead,
like
Justin.
I don't want to open up this can of worms, but something that really bothered me, and I was gonna let it go because I thought it was like too small change, but I can't. Something that really bothered me at the end is they went this whole time and they were like, oh, you can't computerize it. Oh, that's taking away from the ambiance. Was their final presentation not also computerized?
It was
100%
100%
computerized.
It was 100%
Yes.
computerized. I have to imagine we missed some sort of conversation.
I think we did.
Where they
Where-
have to adapt.
Around the clavicle happening?
Where what if they
Like
didn't
he
get
broke his clavicle,
per-
we have to get a computer. Like,
what
okay.
if they didn't get his permission to do the computer? The clavicle guy still thinks that it was just like a static, no movement display. He shows up, making spirits bright, and then he
What
sees
now?
it moving.
He's like, no.
It's always
No.
about the money and the movement. We did it, everybody. Congratulations, Justin. So great to see you, buddy. Tell everybody how they can follow you, read your things, and see your stuff on the internet, which from what I understand, is doing for words what Twitter did for the newspaper business. What's the saying?
I think the saying is that I really wanted a good joke, but it came up full dry there, didn't it, guys? Just nothing came
Brand
out.
didn't exactly set you up perfectly.
Yeah, I didn't set you up great, buddy. That's on me.
I've done for Esquire what Nora Ephron did for rom-coms.
Okay.
Actually, that's too clean of a metaphor and gives me way too much credit. But if you want to read my stuff, it's on Esquire.com. You can follow me at Justin Kirkland 4 on Twitter, and you can always find my love just around the corner.
And Justin covers, and this is not sarcastic at all, the important TV shows like Righteous Gemstones and Yellowstone. And so that's why we need him.
Yellowstone is so good, guys. I would give my life up for Beth Dutton, but that's a different conversation, different time.
Yeah, and it does sometimes, because I read every Yellowstone piece. It does sometimes go the way of talking a lot about Beth Dutton, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
No, it doesn't sometimes go that way. It always goes that way.
And I will say those other 3 Justin Kirklands on the internet can go kick rocks.
That's
They're
right.
the worst people. I hate them all.
They're terrible.
Justin Kirkland 4 is the best.
Justin Kirkland of pro hockey fame actually has me blocked on Twitter. I have no idea why.
Wow. Boy.
Oh, that guy. Guys, let's
shove off.
Let's, you know what? In the spirit of Christmas, let's not do what we should do, which is give him a hard time on social media. Let's just let this go. Let's just let this go.
Okay.
Okay.
Send him good Merry Christmas vibes.
That's exactly right. Oh, and also, if you want to binge all of Dolly Parton's life, you can do that right now with My Year with Dolly.
It's a wonderful podcast. Check it out.
That's exactly right. Justin, so great to see you. Merry Christmas to you, buddy. And to everyone listening, we got another episode coming. More to those ones. Until then, maybe we'll be the first to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Deck the Hallmark's a Bramble Jam podcast. It's presented by Philo TV. It's produced by Brandon Gray and recorded live in, Greenville, South Carolina. Set decor is by Plum at Haywood Mall. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on Bramble Jam Podcast Network, you can go to bramblejampodcast.com.